Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Bat Châtillon 155-58, the Tier 10 French SPG. It's located on the southwest spawn of Klondike, Grand Battle, and it's under the command of the BassmanFromHell. Yes, he's riding again in a Grand Battle. He loves his Grand Battles. He gets a big kick out of them. Well, this battle is more about combined damage. Yes, he's going for as much damage as he can get. Not only actually hitting the enemy and doing damage to them, but also getting assist and stun. So let's see how much he actually gets. It's a 155mm howitzer, which has got a 3-shot autoloader. It does 750 alpha and it's got a burst radius of 8 meters. Now, 8 meters doesn't sound a lot, but it's about the same as an M12. And remember, this is a fast little Arty. It can move about quickly. It's got a turret, which means it can fire 360 degrees. And the autoloader means he's got 3 shots, 10 seconds between each shot and 46 seconds for the full reload. First target, E100 on the move across the lake, rounds out, and he stops. And the round lands in the water next to him. That might have done some damage, but the water will tend to ameliorate the damage. Oh, that one didn't land anywhere near. And that's where that new mod that Zoe's been talking about, a mod which actually calculates the difference between the aim point and the size of the reticule and the point where the shot falls. And that was well outside the reticule. A long way outside the reticule. Yeah, it has been proposed that Zoe has been proposing for a long time actually that we get a mod made up which is freely available on Aslains, which then calculates how many shots fall outside the aim point and how many actually fall inside the aim point or near the actual aim point itself. And this is quite important for a lot of players, not just for Arty players, but for tank players too, because it actually shows how much deviation we're actually seeing from the game, from what the game calculates, and what people blame on RNG, you know, random number generation. It's not random number generation. This is actually being blamed, as Klaus Kellerman pointed out, on the sigma, the amount of shots that fall away from the actual aim point and actually go somewhere else. Well, aiming there at an IS-7, he hits a super conch right next door to him. He's actually now aiming at the super conch, fires a round in, and well, he does hit the super conch, but it stuns the IS-7 next to him as well. As long as he keeps those guys stunned, then his teammates can do damage to them. He's on long reload now. So I think you can understand why this mod that Zoe's proposing to get built will actually be very important for all tank players, because it shows how much wargaming is actually spoiling the game by increasing the sigma or decreasing the sigma to make it difficult for you to hit a target. Normally, if you aim at a target and you've got a good crew, the shell will go directly to the spot you aim at and bang, it hits the target. But obviously, wargaming puts in that fiddle factor, which most people call RNG, random number generation, to say, did the shell actually hit the target? No, and how far away did it actually hit? You saw that shot there, directly aimed to the super conch, landed a long way in front. That one hit right on the target. But you can see just now, he's going to aim, Bassman's going to aim for the IS-7, lines it up on the turret of that tank. He changes to the super conch because he thinks he can hit both of them, and he does hit both of them. That one, he hit the super conch exactly where he aimed it, but both tanks took damage. And that was the reason why he waited before he fired, because he wanted to damage both tanks at the same time. Keep them within the burst radius of 8 meters and you might be able to splash both of them. Well, we now got an Object 268 join them, so if he aims for the super conch, he might actually hit 2 other tanks at the same time. The IS-7's just pulled back and so's the Object 268. Now he's almost loaded. Almost. Okay, which target does he go for? I would go for the super conch and the 268 because they're closer together, even though the IS-7's a bigger threat to his teammates. It's 184 off his first shot. which as you know is non-penetration. You can see where the impact points are on those tanks, because they're the yellow marks. He fired a quick round there at the Super Conk. Didn't work, that one. It went long. But the IS-7 is now one shot. So he can take this guy out. He fires the round in. And no, didn't land on the IS-7. But I think that was because the IS-7 was pulling back. And he's killed by the other Bat Chats, 155-58 on the team. Well, the Super Conks decided to go high. And immediately gets killed by the same Bat Chat who just killed the other one. At least I think it's the same. Might be. Yes, because that guy's got 3 kills, so he probably is that guy. And that strip just got whacked for a huge amount of hit points. Bassman's trying to work out where he should aim, because of course he's still waiting for the reload to go through. And I don't think he could actually shoot at the strip because he was going to get behind cover. So he's firing instead at the spot where he thought there was an E100. Unfortunately, the E100 moved away from that spot. He's going to have another shell ready in a second. He fires one in and... yes, he gets the kill from that one. And that was a splash kill, that one. Going for the strip. Last shell. Rounds out. Long flight time. Gets a hit, and a good hit. 326. Now, as you know, grand battles, 30 tanks, 30 versus 30. So there's plenty of targets for you to fire at. And, well, it means that you can just keep going all battle long, just swatting as many enemies as you can, helping your teammates to overcome them, because, of course, a stun tank is a slow tank. It reacts slowly, can't aim properly, it can't reload quickly, and that makes it vulnerable. So the more tanks that you stun, the better off your teammates are in taking them out. Now at the moment he's just relocating to get a better angle, better position. He doesn't want to stay in the same spot too long, but he's got a much better angle now on those enemy tanks in the harbour area. And that Type 5 Heavy is a one shot. He's loaded, ready to go, rounds out. It hits the Type 5, but it doesn't penetrate. In fact, it didn't appear even to provide any stun at all on that tank. He fires at the AMX-50, who moves backwards and forwards a bit, but not enough to throw off the shell. And he takes a shot for 268 and pulls back behind cover. Obviously, this player's been hit by Arty before, and he knows that the best way to avoid being hit by Arty is to stay behind cover. And normally, the players who learn that are the players who actually play Arty. Yes, another person who actually complained about Arty on a regular basis, one of the streamers. I won't mention his actual name, but his name has something funky, or something that sounds like funky in his name. And of course, he's always bitterly complaining about Arty, but mainly the reason that players get focused by Arty is because they don't know how to be safe from Arty. Yes, they haven't played Arty, so they don't know where they've got to go in order to avoid being hit. Yeah, it's always those people who complain the most about Arty is because they keep getting hit by Arty because they don't know how to avoid it. And if they played Arty, they might understand where you have to go in order to avoid the shots. Now this guy, he's trying to use cover. He's actually staying close to the mountains, so he does know a bit about staying close to the cliff actually prevents the Arty getting a direct shot on you. But if he pulls back too far, yep, there you go. You see, he took some damage because he was just too far away from the rock face. That Object 277 ahead of him is actually in better cover. As you can see, if Bassman fires his shell right now, it will hit the rock face, but he's pulled back too far, and this time round he will take the shell. I was near, but it wasn't on the money. Now Bassman's knocking a few trees over, but it's more than likely the enemy Arty's got more things on their hands at the moment. There are still 3 enemy Artys out there. Okay, we've got a gorilla coming down the cliff face. Oh, now that looked a bit gnarly. Okay, so he's relocating. The Bat Chat is one of the faster Artys, 62 kilometers an hour forwards. It charges about the battlefield almost like a medium tank would, which means you can relocate pretty quickly and get away from enemy tanks if they happen to come into your area. But it also means that the Bat Chat can, if necessary, cap. And a lot of players, you know, in Arty, they should think about capping if it gets to the point where the enemy is sort of like limited in numbers and they can put some pressure on the enemy. Okay, baseman's loaded, rounds out straight away. Not sure if that one hit. He was trying to get the leopard one. He's now looking for that gorilla because that's where he fell down the cliff. There he is. Okay, now gorilla's got very thin armor. It's basically a panther with a big gun on it. And he stunned the guy. And he's taking damage while stunned, which obviously means he's getting assist. And there goes the gorilla. So he's picked up the rest of the stun assist. He's at this moment, he's got 2k of actual damage, 1.2k of assist, and 4k of stun assist in this game. So he's really racking up the damage. That's a combined of nearly 8k, well, not k, 7k of damage. There goes the Progetto, his first kill. Oh, second kill, sorry, not first. Okay, TVP T5051, he's got fairly thin armor as well. And the Object 141, slightly thicker armor, but that's an important player to take down. So there's only 6 enemy remaining, 3 of which are Arty, 3 mediums. There's one of the Arty, the Bat Chat 155-58. He's not loaded yet, so he can't shoot. So all he can do is observe where this guy's going and then fire accordingly. The GWE100 appears. He's just been badly damaged. Rounds out in the Object 140. Lands near the Object 261, who goes down. So that's stun assist. Lines up another shot on the 140. In fact, those two tanks are going together. So he fires one in and damages the leopard, stuns him, and he takes some more damage. So that's more stun assist and more damage assist. He fires the last shell at the Object 140, who gets stunned. And this is the last enemy. They're all going in for the kill now. He's in reload. He's never going to get another shot. And there goes the 140, which means he's picked up even more stun assist. So it's a big scoring game for BassmanFromHell. Possibly around about 10k combined damage. That's a huge total. And that's going to have considerable results. And here's the results. He's got an ace tanker in the Bat Châtillon 155-58. Very well played. Lot of damage assist, and a lot of stun assist in that game. He managed to get a bruise in the middle, getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he got 17. And no medals, but he did get a win 8 of 2677, which is Unicum standard. And let's have a look at the team score overall and see exactly how well he did. Well, didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Gorilla 15 on his team with 6,670 hit points of actual damage to the enemy. The next high scorer being the GWE100 on the enemy team with 5,479. He picked up a Gauze medal, and I suspect that that was an ace tanker as well. And his win 8 on that battle was 4866. My eyesight is very tiny, that. Yeah, my eyesight's going as well. And so, yes, a very good game by them. And they managed only to get 578 of stun assist, but no damage assistance in that game. So theirs was actual damage caused to the enemy rather than any assistance. And the next high score after that was the Panzerkampfwagen 7, who managed to get 4,789 hit points of actual damage. He got a Spartan. The Leopard 1 got a Patrol GT, Scout and Confederate. The other Object 261 on his team got a Confederate, and the E100 got a Steel Wall. On the enemy team, the Progetto managed a Tank Sniper, and as we've seen, the GWE100 got a Gauze medal. When it came to kills, it was, it was actually the other Bat Chat, the one who was actually doing a lot of kills stealing. Well, not kill stealing as such, but he was finishing off tanks that Baseman had been hitting. He got 4 kills in that game. The Gorilla 15 got 3 kills, so did the Jaegeru, and Bassman got 2 alongside the Leopard, the Bat Chat 155-58 and the 277 on the enemy team, and of course the Striv 103B and both Heshbons on his own team. And of course we shouldn't forget that their Progetto also managed 3 kills on the enemy team. When it came to base XP though, it was Bassman, and the reason for that was all the assistance he did. You'll see that very shortly. He got 1200 base in that game, easily got the highest total. 1100 went to the Leopard 1 and 1041 went to the Panzerkampfwagen 7. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 27 shots in that game, got 7 direct hits, no penetration, so very few hits in this game. A lot of them were splashes though, 27 splashes. So again, this is why this mod would be very handy, because we'd find out why so many shells were veering away from the actual aim point and landing somewhere else. 2,505 hit points of actual damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 2, did 2,242 hit points of damage assistance. That's when he's tracked the vehicle or immobilized them so that anybody can shoot them. Or 5,574 hit points of stun assist off 24 stuns. So combined damage on that one, well, it's 10,000, over 10,200 and... well, I think it's actually 10,300. We'll have to do the math on that later. He earned 95,955 credits from the actual battle alone. And after ammunition resupply and consumables, he still made a whopping great profit of 45,715 credits. Now, who say you can't make a profit at tier 10? Of course you can, if you fire HE. He earned 30 bonds for the battle and 7 for, is that for the achievements or, well, it's whichever way round it is. He earned 37 bonds in total and 1,800 XP times 2 for the first victory, took away 3,600 altogether. So a very profitable game there for Bassman, 10k combined, and I'm sure that he's very pleased with that result, because he was pumping those shells in. He was actually picking spots to actually specifically hit 2 tanks in one go, and he earned a nice bit of profit at the end. And you can see that playing a lot of grand battles actually does help you a great deal, because it not only actually practices your skill, but it also gives you huge amounts of credits as a profit. Most people who go into grand battles, if they go in tanks, they just burn up credits like nobody's business, because they're firing nothing but heat rounds and APCR all the time, and so they come out of it with huge losses. But as far as Bassman's concerned, it's a profit-making venture for him. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching.